Hey, what's going on, guys? Today but yeah, all right. Boredom, load, you know, text, relax, security, so much here. First one was temporary here, and then do turn off real-time protection. Why we do this is like now we need. Okay, the way to check that if it's done, go to VirtualBox, and then click snapshots right here. Click this three dots right here and click snapshots. It's right here, baseline. It says baseline right here. So once that's done, all right, what's going on, guys? Unless you want to go, the malware's not gonna go down the bottom. Get out long thing. Also, it's gonna be really slow. All right, the install that you have to do, and then here. I didn't have to move directories. Lock the install file, and is that my password? But the install need to know it just that process. All right, guys, I'm gonna be doing these checkpoints. Just once you're finished, you're gonna get a message. You're gonna get a message that says type enter to exit. These will be 3 hours. We are finished. Once you're finished, what's going on, guys? We are finally done after waiting 3 hours. Like. As soon as you have the malware sample, we're gonna put it in a new folder. Let's keep ourselves organized. So let's name it malware, or name it whatever you want, and then grab it and put it in here. All right. So we're gonna be going through a step-by-step process. If you see on my right, You see all these notes. I had to take them because I want to make sure we do everything correctly. You guys can like copy this. I'll give you guys this as well if you guys want. So the first thing we want to go over is the file type. But before we do that, let's unzip this one. It says xmoon.bin.zip. So let's unzip that. Extract here. And the password is infected. Let me show you, all lowercase. So it's a .bin file. So basically, it can't do anything, right? If I double click it, nothing will happen because we defanged the malware, meaning like we changed the extension. So we need to know the file type of this malware because this will help us understand what we are dealing with. So in order to do this, we're gonna have to use an app called HXD right here. It looks like this. So go in your search, type HXD. I'm gonna show you another way to find the file type in the command line, but let's do this. And when we are gonna look for what file type it is, we're gonna have to look for keywords, and I'm gonna show you why. So let's see. So we grab this thing right here, and then we dump it in here. Right now we don't know the file type, but now I'm gonna show you some keywords to look for when we're looking for file types. So we have 3 keywords. We're gonna look for MZ, 4D, 5A, and then this sentence right here. This program cannot be run in DOS mode. These are basically signatures, right? Keywords that tell us this is an exe, like an executable, like a .exe. So let's see, right here, it says 4D, 5A, and then MZ right here. You see how that matches? You see how it highlights both of them? That's a decoded version of it. So, and another thing to look for is right here. This program cannot be run in DOS mode. Those 3 things, remember those, because those are the keywords that tell us this file is an exe. And the reason why this comes in handy is because sometimes malware, right, it hides inside of an image file, right? And some people might think it's an image, but in reality it's not. It's an exe. Let me show you why. So right here, let me show you this. So first I want to do is rename this to exe, right? Let me change it, press yes. And we see there's an Excel file, right? You see that? And let's change it to a JPEG. Let's actually rename it. I just want to show you what it looks like when you put in the exe, just to show you that it's an exe. So let's put, okay, let me rename it. I don't know why it's not letting me do it. JPG, right here. And what do we see? We see an image icon, right? On the left side. side. Okay, let me rename it. I don't know why it's not letting me do it. JPG, right here. And what do we see? We see an image icon, right, on the left side. Okay, let me open this. Let me close this. I'm gonna show you what I mean. I'm gonna show you how malware hides inside image files, right? But this is how we can catch it though. It's not gonna get away from us. So we grab this image file, right? That looks like an image. We drag it in here, and what do we see? We see the same signatures. Nothing has changed. It does not matter if the malware changes its extension. We'll still catch it because we have these keywords. MZ right here, this program cannot be run in DOS mode, and 4D5A. So let's go to the internet real quick because the internet knows everything. Maybe not, but so let's type in here 4D5A. So let's go to Wikipedia, the best website in the world. So let's see, let me do Control F and let's do 4D and then 5A because I don't want to go. Okay, right here. So we see this 4D5A, we saw MZ, and then we see executable, right? And you see over here it says .exe files. So hopefully that makes sense. The reason why we must know the file type is because sometimes like we don't know like what we are dealing with when it comes to malware. Sometimes you might see an image, but is it really an image file? So these signatures really help us understand because exes hide inside of image files. So another thing we can do is, let's get this out of here. We can use this tool, go to your search, go to CMDR, and just press enter. You guys are going to like this tool. Let everything load. Is that it? Okay, what we want to do is, we're not in the right directory, but I don't think that's going to matter. But let me change this to an exe. Make sure you change this to an exe, because we need to. So we just have to do file right here, and then we grab this, drag this in here. Watch this. Look at that, automatically. And let's see what file type. Right here, PE32 executable. It's an exe, basically. So let's change it to an image file. And we're going to get the same thing. Nothing changes. That's why we have these signatures. Let's run the same damn thing. Okay, I did not mean to do that. Grab it and drag it in here. If it lets me. And then press enter. What do we see? The same thing. You can't hide from us. You know, we're going to catch it wherever it's hiding. So let's rename it exe again. I'm sorry, we're doing all this renaming, but I just want to show you guys. I want to get this like drilled in your head. So let's press yes, and then, okay. Now that you guys understand this, the file type, like, and why it's important, let's go on to the next step. So we're going to go fingerprint the malware. This is basically grabbing the hash file of the hash of the file. We do this because we want to submit it to like VirusTotal, like, or an antivirus website to see like what type of malware it is. It is like, is it a Trojan, ransomware, all this. So what we want to do is, let's minimize this. Let's open up, you can open up HashCalc. I'm going to open up both just to show you what it looks like. What is it called? The HashCalc? Yeah, and then hash my files. If you have this one. Did I spell it right? Hash? Well, let me see. Hash my... I don't think I have it. I might have to download it. Yeah, it's not appearing on my computer for some reason. Maybe I'm not spelling it right. I had it before. For some reason, it's not working. Let's see. But actually, let's forget about that. We just need HashCalc. We just need one. But I don't know why hash my files was not with me. So we're going to grab this file and put it right here where it says data in that box and drag it in there. And we get the hash file right here. And then we copy it and let's go to VirusTotal. Because that's the most famous website out there. If you don't know what VirusTotal is, then you're living under a rock. Alright, let's go here. And then click. So we can dump in a file, right? We can literally grab the malware file, but I don't want to do that. We can put malware it is. It is. It's not appearing on my computer. And then click. So we can dump in a file, right? Enter. Let's see what we are dealing with. So see, it says, yeah. If you see this top part, it says UPX. We're gonna need to know that. Don't worry about what that is right now, but later on, it's like it's something really important. So let's see what we are dealing with. So we see Trojan, ransom crypt, malware gen. Keep going. This one just says unsafe. Oh wow. So let's keep going. Trojan banker. Okay, that's more. Okay, Trojan banker agent. Okay, yeah, that's why you have to look through everything because we want to get a like full view. We see details right here. Creation time when it was first created, first seen in the wild, like when it was the malware was first seen, first submission when the person submitted it to virus total, last submission that's probably me. I'm the last guy to submit it to virus total, and probably you guys as well, and all this crap. Don't worry about what these are right now. This is kind of advanced. Relations. These are the files that it dropped right here. And then behavior, what it does to your computer. You guys can go over that. Community, this is where all the defenders, our people, come together to tell you about this malware. So you guys can read that as well. This one says suspicious. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. All right, let's exit out of that. So hopefully that makes sense. So we fingerprint the malware to get like a better understanding of what we are dealing with. Same as like file type, because file type tells us what we are dealing with as well. All right, the next thing we want to go over is strings. So basically, strings, it lets us see like what the heck is inside this file, like what words are inside this file. And sometimes we might find IP addresses, URLs like C2 servers, which malware calls to, and then Windows API. I'm not going to go over this yet. I'm going to use another tool to see this because this gets difficult. And we want to see encoding techniques, right? Like one encoding technique is basic-C4, and PowerShell uses that. Because sometimes malware, it calls to PowerShell and it tells PowerShell to execute this code. So let's get rid of hashcal, get out of here, we don't want you. And the first thing we want to do is we want to go back to CMDer, or CMDER, I don't know how to say it. And then we want to run this command right here, strings. Doing this, look at this, automatically gives you the location. And do HTTP. Do we see anything? We saw HTTP, but we don't see a URL because what the heck is this? So I only found one thing. Another thing we can do is probably this, because we want to look for, you remember that signature, right? This program cannot be run in DOS mode. That's for exe. So this, let's look if we find that. Oh, right there. What do we see? This program cannot be run in DOS mode. So we saw that. So that's one method. So that's what I usually use. You can do other stuff. You can play around with this. Just change the ending right here and keep this part the same. And the next thing we want to use is floss. So I want to use floss. I want to copy this. You remember that signature, right? This floss. All right. So what we want to do is be broken sometimes. Let me see this program. Let's see if I can catch it. Can I find it? I don't think I can find it. Hold up. Yeah, I don't know. It's broken, but you know what I mean. Like you or search, and the other one called floss. All right. So what we want to do is we want to grab. Let me clear my screen in the terminal, and then what we want to do is we want to grab this command right here, Zora search right here, and then we're gonna look for URLs encoded like strings, right, in the malware that probably contain a URL, but sometimes it may not happen. When you're using these techniques, you might not get what you want, but you still got to use it because you might never know. You might find something you like. So let's grab this, grab the malware. I just like doing this. Look at this. Automatically gives you the location and do HTTP. Do we see anything? We saw HTTP, but we don't see a URL because what the heck is this? So I only found one thing. Another thing we can do is probably this because we want to look for, you remember that signature, right? This program cannot be run in DOS mode. That's for exe. So this, let's look if we find that. Oh, right there. What do we see? This program cannot be run in DOS mode. So we saw that. So that's one method. So that's what I usually use. You can do other stuff. You can play around with this. Just change the ending right here and keep this part the same. And the next thing we want to use is floss. So I want to use floss. I want to copy this or whatever location you got and then put it in here and press enter. Let that kick in. So we got all the good stuff right here. We went through all this stuff. I know this video is probably long, but don't worry. You guys will probably have to rewatch it and understand it because this stuff is cool to understand. You can like show off to your friends and family that I know it's static malware analysis. Oh, what do we see? Floss static Unicode strings. Interesting. Hold up. Is that finished? So from here it said it found some encrypted string. So it found a .dla right here, and it said file description. All this, everything right here is it was decoded, and it found this stuff. But